Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, January 17th. This will be energy for the week for tomorrow, Sunday the 18th, through next Saturday, the 24th. I'm going to apologize for the setup and the lighting, but I have Walter actually in my lap and being a snug, and he's quiet. So we're going to try it this way this week. So I don't have any of my usual setup to try to, get rid of this haziness. So sitting with the energy for this week, it was a little bit different and interesting. The first thing was it felt very scattered, very scatterbrained, very scattered energy. And it reminded me when people talk about the fact that this admin is flooding the zone, they are constantly bombarding us with outrageous, random, many times scary sounding nonsense. It's just absolute constant bombardment. They are trying to keep us all back on our heels. They are trying to create fear because people in fear are easier to control. For example, when was the last day that you actively sat there and by yourself thought about the V country leader being picked up and swept away? Like, it occurred to me this morning, it's been several days, several days, because that's no longer the news, right? It's something new all day, every day. So the energy this week feels as though it will not only continue, but possibly heighten in that constant bombardment and that flooding of the zone. So be prepared for that. There was a slight, like a gentle floating in of the 24th, which was a little surprising to me because it's not like we have as much or receive as much news like on an actual weekend, on an actual Saturday. So I'm not sure what about the energy for that day is causing it to float in. I have for a while also been hearing the 26th. Full disclosure, I don't recall whether I first heard the 26th because of astrology. I don't recall what it is that happens that day, but something astrologically speaking, there's some sort of transit or lineup that day that has big energy potential behind it. So I don't recall if I first heard the 26th come up because I heard that there was astrology that was important that day, or if it came up on its own and then heard that there was astrology that day. But it continues to come up for me, like almost daily, just out of nowhere, boom, the 26th. So even though that's not this week, that's next week, I wanted to mention that was the case. I think I have, I was going to check my journal app, but it just popped in to remind me. The other thing that came up for this week is there feels as though there is a heightened energetic potential for, I'm not sure which word I'm able to use without getting, banned or taken down or something. So I'm going to try to say gatherings of individuals who will not stand for this. P word, gatherings of individuals, whether it's out in the streets or in certain areas, a very heightened energetic potential for conflict in those circumstances. Now, full disclosure, I also do already know I saw something actually last night about there's some sort of agitator gathering happening in the city where all of this nonsense has been going down the last couple weeks. Stay away from it. I think it's supposed to be today, sometime, noon their time or something. Stay away from it. Just stay away. Don't give them the fuel for their fire, okay? But even besides that, the energy throughout the week with that bombardment, with that scattered sensation, it did come in that there is a heightened energy that would like float underneath as a support to conflict in those circumstances. So as much as we tend to say, stay safe, stay with, trusted people, watch your six, watch what they're doing, who's coming at you, who's coming around. I have seen people talk about like link arms and sit down. I just want people to be even more aware that there is energetic support to the potential for conflict to erupt. This week is how it came in. So I just want to say that. Also, an aside for this week that we're ending today, if anybody wants to stick around and just listen to how absolutely bizarre my week was, and if anybody else had really strange happenings this week, let me know in the comments. I recall Monday, I had really, really deep sadness that was not mine. I had nothing personally going on, and as the day went on, it got stronger and stronger. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, I found myself super easily irritated, like little things that never bother me. I was like, oh my gosh, just super, especially in the evenings, really, really easily irritated. And then yesterday, I could swear I was like rubbing up against like other dimensional personal timelines or something. I had the strangest things happen all day long during day job work, where like things were not connecting, things were not matching. I was trying to like take information from this and match it to information from that to like help communicate it out, and like nothing was matching. Numbers weren't matching, information wasn't matching, names weren't matching. And I was like, I can't make sense of this. I don't understand what's going on. Got distracted with some other tasks and went back and found everything matching right away. And that type of thing happened multiple times. And I was like, look, I fully understand I could be off my game. I fully understand I could be overwhelmed. I don't know. But like it happened multiple times. And it happened with other people actually saying like, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then like an hour or two later, finding that we were both wrong. It was just so strange. So let me know if you had weird circumstances this week. I also want to mention the 14th. I had said the 14th stood out to me. Of course, there was news on the 14th. I know late that evening, news came that there was another frozen water pew-pewing to somebody who shouldn't have been pew-pewed for no good reason. I don't know if the 14th popped up just because it was a similar circumstance with the same types of groups of people in the same city. There's something that is still hovering with me. Like maybe we find out after the fact that something else went on. I'm just going to put it out there because it feels like we don't know yet. So we'll see. I could be wrong. We'll see if anything shows up there. So stay centered, ground if you're able, when you're able. Put your phone down, turn the news off, walk away when you're able until you're in an energetic and emotional state to catch back up without it completely rocking you. So that's what I've got for you this week. So, and Walter says, thank you. Look at that handsome little Bobby. He's a good boy. Okay, see you guys later.